recording? Not yet. I have to get centered first. And wait for my cue. Like this. And say action next time.
Little boy, I was just like you once. A greenhorn. You know, I thought I could just go on. I'd give him 2 shakes.
Hi, my name is Tiffany, and I'm an alcoholic, I guess. Well, I keep getting arrested, so somebody thinks I'm an alcoholic, right?
And once she left, her silence was deafening. It rang volumes of neglect.
No, we've never been married. We were just high school sweethearts who had a little bit of a surprise.
You just need to find yourself a nice young man. A man who'll provide for you and love you unconditionally like the good Lord does.
You know, I'd shoot some poor Viet Cong, and his eyes would be staring back at me as he's going down, and like he knows it's his last breath.
They say life's like a box of chocolates. Well, so's my wife, seeing as how she got passed around like one.
I'm not actually supposed to be able to get pregnant, you know, but the doctors were wrong, obviously.
But after a while, it felt pretty nice. Yeah, this feels pretty nice.
Into the West program is modeled upon a workshop that happened back in the mid and late 1980s here in Austin called In the West. And it was masterminded by Jim Fritzler. And he brought all his favorite people together to do this workshop that was inspired by Jim's kind of epiphany that he had when he saw the Richard Avedon photographic essay in the American West. He said, we could do the dramatic equivalent of these, you know. I said, you mean act out these people? And he said, no, we can do our own pieces. So Lyman Grant and John Herndon had seen the production back then, and they were looking for something. We were talking about what can we bring to our creative writing curriculum that would be new and different or rich or whatever. And I said, well, you know, what about this?
So you need to watch it carefully because your writing prompt is going to come from this today.
Designing the class, it's trying to find that balance of letting people share their stories but then know that they're going to give them away.
And stop.
All
right, excellent. No, that's all right. So now write what you saw.
The writing class is writing, and then there's this concurrent thing in the second semester of readings. We also, at that point, introduce our guest artists, who are usually guest directors, sometimes also guest actors. And these are professionals from the community.
Sidney said, would you be interested in being a guest director for Into the West? So I said, sure. And I haven't regretted it for a second. This has been a wonderful experience.
Sonny was a professional actor that the kids really loved and enjoyed being around, and I think they Googled him and found out the crazy movies he's done and stuff, and so they were like, wow.
Writing's tough, huh? It's a tough gig, Junior. And who reads anymore, huh? Well, if they want a story, they go to the movies. If they want the news, they get King fucking Turek on the boob tube. Huh? I ain't saying, I'm just saying.
You're trying on different hats. It's like we take one piece that has some possibility and we try it on 4 or 5 different actors. Then we break down into teams of director, actor, writer. And those little teams rehearse independently. Often at this point the actor and writer start working together closely to figure out what is working in the piece or what could be embellished. Sometimes even bringing some of the actor's own personal life experiences into the mix.
Okay, I admit it. I hate wrestling. I hate it! The only reason that I left the drama club and joined wrestling against my will was I thought it was going to be like that badass wrestling you see on the TV.
The piece I wrote for John is World Wrestling Pack of Lies. I was signed up to wrestling against my will and was forced to quit the drama club. And like my parents were like, oh, you need to play a sport. You need to man up.
I spent hours in a freezing cold gymnasium in these tiny short shorts with a bunch of Freddie Mercury types and even shorter shorts.
David Zimmerman wrote this, and I worked with him before. He wanted to do my piece, and I kind of wanted to do his piece. I wanted to do something more comedic than serious, and so it all just kind of worked out like right at the last minute.
That's about the time I saw Daddy. Just on the other side of Gretchen's door. Standing at the edge of darkness like some kind of gatekeeper between this world.
Standing at the edge of darkness was kind of good out the gate. The only rewrites that John really did was to match my vocal style and word phrasings and all that.
I didn't mean to hurt nobody.
I've always seen David as sort of someone with energy spewing out in many directions, and we worked on just staying in the chair.
I was deployed. I couldn't talk to you for months. And when I finally did, out it came. I love you. I have loved you since day one.
The soldier theme was more than a poetic license. It was a reality with the population of kids, and it needs a mouthpiece. And so that was very, very potent.
Don't worry, lover. I hear you say it now. I do. But now, I have to go.
I always like the breakthroughs that happen in rehearsal, and they are coming also now equipped with these feedback experiences that, they're learning all about the etiquette of feedback and how you take what you can from it, but you never, get defensive.
Why does she keep watering the plants? Doesn't she know they're plastic? Every day she waters them.
As writers, you get really stuck on a certain piece that you're working on, and it becomes your baby, and you don't really want someone to come take your baby and scratch it out and shake it around and change it up. But what's really cool about this program is that you learn to let go and you learn to collaborate.
I don't belong in this place. I don't belong in here. That lady with the Coke in her hand, she belongs in here, not me.
Judy was the writer for this piece, and she based a lot of this on her own experiences. It's been a really neat process to see Drew and I working together, adapting something that was actually very real to Judy and bringing it to stage in a more fictional manner.
The minute that you put it on paper, it's no longer real. It's
fiction.
No longer, it becomes fiction. It doesn't matter how close to reality you think it is.
Ma'am, spare some change? Oh, okay, fine. My dog here will just starve.
Once the piece was given to me, the character was my character. And while it was still to be changed and molded by these other two people, it also had to be kind of what I would think this character would say or do.
You probably get pretty lonely sometimes. Sleeping under the bridge or bench in the park.
The moment when I'm relating to the dog, it makes me kind of feel sad, but not sad. Sad, like hopeful for the future. Even though it's not my future, I can feel it.
I think they're finding themselves. I mean, this is a wonderful program because people are saying, well, I can write this stuff. The audience is laughing at this. I'm making the audience feel something.
Father, you don't know the weight of your words. Why did you tell Jose to join the Marines? He listened to your holy guidance and he destroyed him. He trusted you, but you are weak. You talk, but you have no actions.
It began as part of a possible means for acting students to be working with writing students, and it's that interdisciplinary goal is still at the heart of the whole experience, but we are finding more and more writing students wanting to participate as actors too.
I wanted to learn more about writing, or creative writing, and this compilation of drama plus the writing gave me a lot of experience in learning how to see things in different ways, be able to feel in different ways, and to understand the reasoning behind the writing. I didn't like the way you spoke to me that day in front of my crew. We worked together and you never used condescending language. Aren't you American? Didn't our forefathers say something like, we're all created equal?
I think anyone who takes the writing classes got some sort of need for self-expression. They all need to say something about their lives.
I don't know if you have ever heard a fighter jet flying low right over your head, but it is enough to scare you, rattling you to the bones, making your blood shake. They were flying over regularly. It's funny, I think I'm okay, but even now, almost 9 years later, if I hear a fighter jet, I automatically think something horrible has happened.
One of the most exciting pieces for me this year was watching Nicole Durish perform her own work. But she had one that was one of those very personal pieces, and she was already hitting the kind of high points that an actor is always struggling to reach.
It's helped wash away some of the haunting non-images floating around in my head. At the time, my sight was much better than it is now, but I couldn't see the television very well. I could see the towers and the smoke in real life.
In her case, she has memory of seeing. So the beautiful thing about that piece is that there's enough memory in her writing of what she saw versus what she didn't see, and that the revelatory moment was about, I'm really glad that I couldn't see it.
If you ever ID'd a Jane Doe body, Mr. Driver, a Jane Doe body. It's like Christmas, except you don't want it to be the thing you think it is.
A lot of it is a lot of pride, a lot of excitement for them. In this case, especially because they're beginners, and so often, you know, they're having it for the first time. So it's like watching them graduate. That's what it feels like, and celebrating.
But they come running up to you afterwards, and they're excited, and it gives me great joy.
This has been a great experience, and I hope it goes on for generations, because this is a wonderful, wonderful thing.
My fellow Texans, thank you for joining me here tonight.
Well, hello, little man. Looks like you gained some weight. What's that you got in your hand? A pickle?
Hawking a loogie. What's wrong with that? Can you honestly tell me you'd rather slurp it back down and spit it out?
I have always believed that society works best when men can be men and women can be women the way God intended.
I'm very devout. It's just that I have a more personal relationship with Christ.
Channeling the real Maggie.
I do it through sex. I know things about God in heaven. I see it all.
I gotta protect you, even from your own dreams and delusions.
I hate music. See that guy plugged over there in the music we can hear? Rude.
I had this one asshole. He'd call me up to go look at a house. As soon as we'd be inside, he'd be grabbing my ass. So we fucked one time. And now it's like I'm a whore or something. Well, whores get paid.
You smell that? You know me asthma. Yeah, I know a few university words.
Mama, we got us a rider.
You can be with us when the rapture is upon us, and we'll live in God's eternal kingdom together, Lily, with your family forever and ever. No, honey, that's heaven.
I'm going to have sex. I'm going back to my Baptist ways and the ways of Pastor Paul.
My fellow Texans, God bless you, God bless skirts, and God bless the great state of Texas.